Everyone's like, oh, look, here comes Pensy Joe bringing the Pennsylvania stuff because really test LED in the headlight, but we'll take this shit quite well by all. Regular combination, she's all that Sheet at 10. Proceed to 15. Hey everybody, this is Pensy Joe back again. I've been gone for pretty much a while when it comes to, layout updates, train reviews, train previews, which is what this video is going to be. I'm not going to be really doing in-depth reviews anymore. I wanted to do something different this time. There's a new, manufacturer slash, what's the term? It's like a collab between a manufacturer in South Korea and a Dakota company called TCS. And ever since these came out and I saw these on the radar, I was like, wow, these are pretty cool. And the price range was pretty good as well. It wasn't anything too groundbreaking or anything like that. What TCS was asking for with DCC and sound for $250, you get a either 23C or a U25C. I think it's a U25C to stand correct myself. Well, we'll open the box anyways. But it's gonna be really interesting. I cannot wait to see what's in here. And I've seen a video online where somebody got one of these, and what they got out of the box was, a little bit disappointing to say the least. It had a cracked, I think it was like a cracked frame for a truck or something like that. The plastic was cracked, which is, I never seen anything like that before. So I was like, well, I ordered mine already, so hopefully it's not a huge issue. And obviously there were some, separately applied details that fell off, and obviously got to reglue. And that's not something, to not expect, especially from Scale Trains. Scale Trains has that issue too, where they have separately applied details fall off and stuff like that. It's a common thing that happens. Why, I don't know. I know why. It's just that the glue was not applied right, or they didn't use enough glue or something like that. So, it is what it is. So, let's see if we can get that. There we go. And we're going to take this out. Alright, so we got some foam here. Interesting way to pack things, actually. Holy cow, there's a lot of pieces of foam. There we go. I'm going to take that off and put that to the side. Hopefully not too much of a mess. Got some nice packing. Wow, these are actually packed pretty well in here. It's got a lot of foam in here to protect it. Here's the first one. Let's see. All right. There we go. First one. U25C PRR number 65513 without sound, even though it actually does have sound. It has a TCS WOW sound decoder here for diesels. They have 3 road numbers. That's pretty cool. This is actually really well packed. So I have to say, using foam is pretty interesting. Soft light foam. Here's a second one. Let's see, the information's on this side. Got another one, number 18, and I got a third one. So I'm really going all out with the U25Cs. Let's see, there we go. Gosh, there's a lot going on in here. And there we go. All right. And the final one is number 6516. And I got 3 because, I want to try something new. And not only that, I don't have these in my fleet. Now, a lot of my stuff is mainly steam, which is true. That's what's going to always still be. But I want to kind of do, if anybody who's been around for a while, I wanted to do like an alternate history with the Pennsylvania Railroad, so I get to get more stuff, is to say the least. So we're gonna try and take one out. So I got some tape on one end. And these boxes remind me of the early, kind of like the earlier runs of Broadway. Alright. See if I can pull this off. So I talked to TCS on asked some questions. Here you go. Here's some information right here. Pretty cool. I wanted to do something alternatively. I do have models that are made in Korea. For example, I have a made in Korea BLI 611, Norfolk and Western J. I have an ABA set of Paragon 1 E7s that still operate to this day, and they're excellent. They were also made in Korea. And I'm not here to say, which country is better. It really, what it comes down to is the manufacturer's quality control, really is what it is. And that's part of the reason why I'm here today to do this preview, is to see how well they did this. They got some extra separately applied details in here as well. There we go. We're going to take that side off. Okay. What I'm going to do is take this out. Put it on the floor. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with this. And it comes with the TCS U25C functions, lighting functions and sound functions. This is awesome. The previous, not previous guy, but there's another reviewer who said he didn't get like an instruction sheet, and I got an instruction sheet for this model, which is excellent. I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to add. These look like brake rigging pipes and stuff. So I'm going to keep them in their bag, in the bag for now, and I'll probably add these separately applied details later. I think it's cool that you get some extra stuff that you can add on to yourself. And I'm pretty sure, it's not too much, but it's, just enough so you don't have to worry about, spending money and all that stuff. Or, it saves money. Let's just say it just saves money for something, which is neat. I'm not really going to complain about that. I don't mind if there's like minor assembly required. Actually, it's not a huge deal for me. Okay, so we're going to try and get this out, and I don't want to roll it on the floor. So what I'm going to do is try and get the paper and plastic. All right. There we go. Moment of reveal. I don't see any broken details yet, which is excellent. Let's see. That looks like a smudge. Look at this. These are brass grills. They look nice. I actually like that. That looks really good. Looks really, really nice. And the same right here with the air tanks. It looks like the pair of tits for the I-Class, the Decapod. And here we are. Look at this. Really nice. The truck detail is pretty good on this. Now the shell's plastic. This is not a brass model. It has a plastic shell, and it feels to me that this fuel tank is die-cast or something like that. Here's the bottom of the truck. Now right away I don't see any cracks, which is nice. It looks like I could plug in another speed recorder on here. Right here, sorry if it keeps swapping around. And we're gonna look down here. I don't see any cracks in the plastic. That's good. That's excellent. Let's check the other side. And there's the speed recorders on those hubcaps. Really neat. It's got all of them on one side. Really, really cool details, I have to say. And moving towards the back, I still do not see cracked plastic on the frame, or on the frame of the the truck. So, good. I'm really happy about that. And it's got crew figures inside. You know, like, come on. Like, this is actually really, really cool that it has crew figures. Now, Korea Brass did another run of these like 10 years ago. They did it for, like, I believe, Rivarossi as well. And they also did their own that was DCC without sound. And I think they also offered their own. So that's one. That's really neat. On this side, I don't have the speed recorders. And I think there's supposed to be something right here, but I could be wrong. There's always extra spare parts that come with it too, so that's really nice. And there's some grills right here. Really, really cool. And I think it's interesting that the foam shaped like that to match with the model. Now, in my opinion, I feel like the packaging could be a little bit better, but because it's kind of like the Bowser, it's kind of like the Bowser packaging where it's like a split, you know, plastic cubby like this. But it seems to me that it does the job pretty well. I really like this. This is a really nice looking model. Now, obviously, I'm going to test to make sure that everything works and all that. But I have to say, I'm very impressed so far with this model. I really like this. I think this is a really cool model so far. Now we got to check the rest of them to make sure everything's fine. And then I got like little test tracks still out. So that is good, good, good. So they do have this plastic frame. They don't have like extra foam on it. It's kind of like Bowser, pretty much, to where it's just mostly like a plastic, cradle or an ice cube, as some people nickname it. So that's not a huge issue for me. So far, I didn't have an issue getting this thing out of the box, and not only that, nothing seemed broken. So that is a plus for me. And the green, the DGLE looks pretty good as well. It does look like that this antenna seems bent. Yeah, this antenna seems bent. I'm gonna try and yeah, it seems bent. I could probably fix that, and if I need to re-glue it, I can. So okay, so that's one thing. I'll have to take some points off of that. Really, I'm not gonna really do a point thing, but that's okay. That can be fixed with glue. It's unfortunate, but you know, that's just one minor thing. But I mean, for a company that TCS says they want to do more with over time, it's not too bad. I mean, I've seen worse. I mean, I've seen stuff broke off of, like, you know, scale trains, and some people are like, well, I never had an issue. That's fine. Just understand that just because you don't have an issue does not mean somebody else out there had an issue, and if it's more than enough issues out there, well, you know, there's a problem. There shouldn't be a certain amount of people having issues. It should be like scarce as possible. So let's do this again. Now I'm going to take these to my club layout tomorrow, and I'm going to test them out and see how well they do. All right, so we're going to take this one out. Again, comes with instructions this time, which is awesome. For TCS, they're doing good so far. In my opinion, I would probably, I mean, it's not, I mean, it could, I don't know. Some people could probably say, like, you know, they could probably do better with the, oh yeah, you can move like this and pinch like this to get the model out. So that's pretty neat. So number 2, we got door number 2 to open and see how well this comes out. Okay, so I don't have a bent antenna this time, so that's neat. So far, I don't see anything else that's broken. Let's take this out of here. We still got our speed recorders on here, on one side. I don't see any cracked plastic for the side truck frame. Really good. I'm also looking over my phone just to make sure I could still see. I do not see cracked plastic here. That's good. And okay, I thought this thing, if you see that ridge right there in the middle axle, I thought, wait a minute, is that a crack? Like, no, it's just a lighting. Nope, this is not cracked either. Excellent. Details still look good. I saw the guy also saw that his ladder right here was kind of banged up. That ladder that goes to the roof. But so far, I do not have anything broken like that, which is good. So I say this is a better one. Pretty good. I'm really happy with this. It still looks awesome, and it's got like a drop plate in front. Really, really neat. Again, crew figures. I hope that, when TCS does more of these, they do more crew figure requests for their models, because it saves me time to have my own, which is not a huge issue. I'll be honest, guys, it's not a huge issue. It's just nice to have that as a feature right out of the box, especially for someone that's like $250. From what I understand, I haven't heard any like mechanical issues about I think the older run that came out like 10 years ago, even the River Rossi one. So yeah, I'm very curious. Now, if you want to see what this model looks like under the shell, like the motor and everything, I recommend checking up the video of the guy who did a review on this. I'll have a link in the description to check him out. I think he does a really good job talking about the model and explaining about the model, the good and bad things about the model as well. So, I mean, unfortunately, his, had issue when, they got it. So, it's a shame. But hey, that's why, I was kind of cautious when I first got these, because I was like, oh, wow, I spent a good amount of money on this. And they had these, they were given, if you buy more than one, you get like 10% off. So, like, if you bought two, obviously you get like $50 off. So that's pretty cool. And I got 3 of them, so I got $75 off. So, and then with shipping and, I mean, it is what it is. It wasn't bad. I'll be honest. It was like, for 3 of these, you paid for like $700, including shipping. So, and they're really beautiful. I mean, they're really nice looking U-boats here. Or no, yeah, U-boat. Okay, so I have a problem with the Century from the Alcos and GE, for example. I don't know why, but to them, they just look so similar to me. Obviously, because they share similar stuff. But, yeah. All right, again, they still have detail parts, extra detail parts, and they also have instructions for TCS for the U25C. And I like how they have this right here where you can just grab it with 2 fingers, just like that. As simple as that. I like that. I like that they have that in the Ice Cube. Because when you have other models, right, I actually do have to say that's actually a pretty good idea that they did it like that. Let's see. No broken antenna. That's awesome. No broken details so far. And what's cool is that the marker lights turn on, but I don't think they turn red or anything like that. I'm not sure. I'll have to check, because these are Pennsylvania ones, and the one that the other guy got had the white marker lights. I mean, it doesn't matter if it doesn't change colors. It's not a huge deal for me. But yeah, so let's take a look. Crew figures inside the cab. That is awesome. Let's see, do we have any cracked frames? Nope. No cracked frame, which is good. Same thing on this side. Looks good. Other side. Again, that's pretty cool with the speed recorders. I like that detail. For $250, guys. I mean, with DCC and sound, really, really cool. No, I don't see anything cracked on this one as well. That's awesome. So, all right. So two out of 3 are flawless. That's good. That is pretty good. But I guess for just future reference, I'd be more careful with the antenna. Let's see, can I force that back up without breaking it off? Yeah, I guess I did. Cool. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than looking flumpy from before, bent over. I would just say for TCS, just make sure that because obviously, my guess is that when they get these, they come without sound, as they say in the box, and then TCS installs the sound for you, and you get a DCC and sound locomotive for $250. So yeah, that's pretty good. I would just say, for TCS, should make sure that the people who do install, especially future runs and new future models, which they did confirm that they'll be doing more in the future. And I have to say, I'm glad I support this. I really do support TCS doing this. I know there was a former employee that was upset that they took this idea from them where they would sell, for TCS to sell their own locomotives. And I get it. They got let go. I didn't get into why they got let go, but I just figured I'd bring that up because just for them to have resolution. But it's business out there, guys. No company's perfect, all right. But as a customer, I have to say I'm actually glad that they took what the guy suggested into heart, and because it offers competition out there and a different slice of what you can get out there, and not everything has to be from China, obviously, which is fine by me. I don't have an issue completely with stuff from China. Honestly, sorry. To me, it just offers something different. It's not all eggs in one basket kind of situation. Really, beyond that, I'm not going to talk about the tariff situation. Mainly because it would take me too long to talk about it, and that's not what this video is really about. It's really about, an alternative, it's really like, a preview about, U-boats that come from a different country other than the normal country we usually get our model trains from. And I have to say that this company, Korea Brass, the manufacturer, has, in my opinion, tremendous potential to be a pretty big competitor in the years to come. They used to do, in the name itself, Korea Brass, they used to do brass models since like the 80s when they started. And they would have various importer companies import stuff here. Interesting enough, if you go on Korea Brass's website, there's a ON30 280 C19 that looks very similar to Broadway's Blue Line 280. And I saw that and I was like, I wonder if Broadway used to work with Korea Brass before. And that's something that I think people should look into, because it's like, Broadway, why did you, for example, Broadway, why did you leave Korea? I don't know. It's interesting. It will be interesting for the Broadway legendarium, as I like to get into sometimes. And it would be an interesting, like, oh, look, these kind of flop up and down. But it's cool. I like that. I like that extra detail where these can move up and down. It's got brilliant detail. Nothing really seems to be broken off, which is awesome. I'm glad that I don't have the same issue with the broken side frames on the trucks for the power trucks. So yeah, this I'm really happy with what I see so far. These are really cool, and like I said, TCS seems to plan on doing more models, and especially Steam models. For those who are into Steam like me, they plan on doing Steam models in the near future, based off the Facebook post on these U25Cs that they had on there. I commented and I had a back and forth with them about what their plans are, and I asked them if there will be Pennsylvania Railroad locomotives, and they did not rule them out. And I told them, if you do offer them, I'll probably buy them. But I hope that the level of quality improves and over time stays pretty, up there, Again, this is one of the few models that Korea Brass really offers on their website. They really only show like 2 offerings right now, if I can remember correctly. Somebody can correct me if they want to. And I would like to see their portfolio and offerings grow And for me, to TCS, I would say TCS, you should take full advantage of what's going on in the world now. And you should also keep these guys to a high standard. And I say go for it. I say continue to make more models with this company. And I want to see more. I do want to see more. I like alternatives out there in the market, and I want to see you guys make steam engines. Because you guys are really great for your steam decoders, all right? Number one. Number two, I want to see a good competitor for BLI finally. Not to say that BLI is, terrible or anything, all right? I'm just saying I would like to see a competitor. And if you guys do brass models with TCS WOW decoders, and these new brass models are like modern, where they can be DCC ready, but you can get them for a relatively, competitive price with Broadway, you guys might be striking gold in the future. Just saying. But yeah, I want to see more. Anywho, I'm going to switch over to my temporary test track, and we're going to test all three of these on it and see if they operate right. Okay, since I got all of them on the track right now, let's fire them up. Cool, they all seem to turn on. There's a famous 7FDL motor, or 7FDL16, and the interiors are painted green. That is pretty cool. I like that. Then they have an interior paint color. There they are. Headlights. Really neat. So let's have them move forward. Test for motor control. There they go. Now I have them at 2%, and they seem to be pretty good right out of the box. All right, let's do the light functions.
Night mode active.
Oh, whoa, I like that. Look at that. Parker lights. And we got the... there's some light bleed into the rear headlights. And into inside the grill a bit. It's not too bad, I'll be honest. But it does look nice. I really like those marker lights. They're nice and bright too. Even the front has marker lights as well. Obviously the foam is blocking it, but they seem to work. All of them seem to work from this angle. So we'll turn that off. If I want the marker lights only on... Oh, wait, what is that? Okay, so the front marker lights turn on with the 2, 3, doesn't do anything. 4, does not do anything. 5, does not do anything. 6. So it's really just 1, and if you want that, what happens if I go in reverse? Okay, so only the front ones turn on. Interesting. That's really interesting how those work. If I do that, I turn on the marker lights and the... that's really cool. And the number boards, that's really nice. And then when I go into reverse, obviously the headlights turn on. Really, really cool. Yeah, I have to say, these are really nice. Unfortunately, they don't do the color red, which might be a little bit difficult, which is fine. I know some limitations with the TCS decoder functions when it comes to lighting, and I'm okay with that, honestly. Could it be a bit better? Maybe it could be something for TCS to look into, see if they can get the colors to change on certain LEDs, if they do like a certain LED I can change colors, and they can talk with Courier Brass to do something. We can change the classification and marker lights on the diesel locomotives in the future. That would be pretty cool. So, yeah, it is really neat. And obviously, the cab grows brighter. I'll turn those off. Oh, yeah, and it turns the cab lights off, which is cool. Nope. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, so you can turn them all on. So right out of the box, when you turn on the locomotive, it seems like the cab light turns on. And then when you turn on the marker lights and stuff, it can do that as well. It's an interesting thing that I figured out just now, because I also remembered from that review video, it does the same thing. He explains a bit like why it does that, so it's really interesting. Let's have them back up a bit.
Sound mode active.
Obviously, like any TCS decoder, you can change the sound functions and the horns and the whistles and stuff. And they sound really good. Sounds like a GE should. So far so good. The motor control is really nice. Let's see if we can go down to 1%. Look at that. They're just barely crawling. And this is why I find TCS to be pretty much one of the best decoder manufacturers on the market. It's just that motor control is just almost unbeatable. ESU is pretty close, I have to say. But, man, this is why TCS in my book is #1. Some people have their gripes with TCS, and that's understandable. They do things their own way, and, everybody does. ESU, you have to have a programmer and a computer to access many different files and stuff. And then for, Tsunami, you have to do CVs. And Broadway, we don't want to talk about Broadway. But, anywho, when it comes to, motor control, light, the lighting, I have to say ESU is better on the lighting. Sorry, TCS. I think you guys can do better over time. You guys are still working on stuff, and you're always out to try and do new things, so that's good, and I hope you guys continue to do more. But besides that, when it comes to motor control and the sounds, it's really good. Now, some people say I could just get these with DCC ready and just get, ESU decoders, but, $250, man. With DCC ready, it's like 170 something, so I get to save, installation and the cost of a decoder for like another 80 or 70 bucks with Keep Alive. These do come with Keep Alive, and I believe they all will come with the KA3. As in the review video that, again, I'll have linked in the description, the guy said he saw a KA3, and I can confirm that it is a KA3 Keep Alive in there as well. So let's do that right now. I just turn off the power for the track. Track power's off. And man, are they just going. It is excellent. And then they just turned off, and then the lights will usually be the last thing that turned off as well. You don't really need a Keep Alive for U-boats or 6-axle diesels, but hey, I am known for going above and beyond and putting Keep Alive in anything that I could try and fit. Unless it's like the DCC Ready, offerings by Broadway. I just put a 21-pin decoder in there and call it a day. So, yeah, right way, I'm pretty impressed. I cannot wait to break these in at the museum layout tomorrow. Club, museum, it's pretty much the same thing. And they will be pulling my Bowser freight train, so they will not have any issues with those excellent free-rolling needlepoint, rolling stock from Bowser. And it'll be really fun to really bring these things out and have them do the dance and do like the whole performative action with a freight train. And having three of them is pretty cool. I mean, I figured, one's cool, two's awesome, but three's. Now we're getting noticed. So yeah. And this preview, I have to say, TCS again. I've said it before in an earlier segment. TCS is on to something here, and I hope they do more and not wait like another 10 years. Don't please, if you got, this is the time to offer a competitive offering. Blackstone did narrow gauge stuff. If you can want to do narrow gauge HON3 stuff with Korea Brass, I say go for that as well. There is a market. It's slowly growing. It's not growing so super fast, but it's slowly growing. Mainly because Blackstone helped get the HON3 market growing. So if you guys in TCS want to try HON3, in my opinion, if you're going to do an HON3 model at some point with TCS Wow Sound, please do the Baldwin 460s, specifically like the ones that were seen on the Tweetsy. My museum would like to buy 20 of them, at least. Thank you. And I would like to buy at least one, maybe two. It depends. It depends on how well it runs. It depends on how well it can go over sort of shoddy track work. It's not bad, all right? My club's ETUNC layout's not that bad, all right? It can be kind of bouncy, but it is still a neat operating layout. I mean, I got a Kit Bash class GE90 that uses a Kato drive, and that thing does majority pretty well on that layout. So if a Kit Bash can do pretty well, then I'm pretty sure TCS could probably come up with a model with Korea Brass models in the future. So I have to say I'm pretty excited. Just make sure that the broken details are either at a minimum or non-present as much as possible. Again, I think you guys are on to something here. I think this will be a great endeavor for future models that you guys offer in the future with Korea Brass models. And I really hope you guys do a lot more. This is something big, in my opinion. I think we need more variety and alternatives, especially where manufacturers are coming from, in my opinion, just in case anything happens in the world. Just hinting that, all right? I'm not going to get into it, but as an example, it would be nice to have more variety of where things are made. And from what I understand, these guys seem to have a positive rap sheet. As long as it continues to be positive and you guys can really get them to crank out some really cool offerings and you import them in and they operate well and they last like decades, that's all that matters to me. Again, I can't stress this enough. These are really pretty neat models. I'm lucky that I didn't have the issues, and I bought 3 of these. So when I saw that one Burlington unit that one guy got, I was kind of nervous, but I have to say I'm kind of giddy. All right, I'm kind of giddy. I don't want them to get overconfident. All right, never get overconfident as a business, because if I find a stink, I'm gonna yell about it, and I know everybody else is gonna yell about it. Well, us model railroaders, when we have a stink, we don't stop talking about it. Some people might, but those some people are not the people you listen to. Anyways, guys, this is Pensy Joe signing out again. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a long preview, I know, but that's the reason why we're here. We're here to talk about some cool stuff. We're here to criticize stuff, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again, and see you guys down the line in a future video. Maybe another TCS importing Korea Brass models down the future. Hopefully Pennsylvania. If there's going to be a steam engine from Pennsylvania for HO, please do an M1 class, M1A, or if you could do multiple variants, that would be awesome too. M1A, M1B, M1A with a short tender. Please go wild with these guys. Anyways, guys, I don't want to waste any more time. Have a good one. I'll see you guys down the line. Bye now.
To the hill and by the shore, hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Now here's to Daddy Claxton, may his name forever stand, and may be remembered in the courts throughout the land. When his earthly race is over, let the curtains round him fall. We'll carry him home to victory on the Wabash Cannonball. Oh, listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, as she glides along the woodland to the hill and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of the engine, hear the lonesome hobo squall, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball.